Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the brand new Nike Premier in the soft ground stud variation. Now inside the box, because this is a soft ground shoe, they do of course include a Nike stud wrench for the removable metal tip studs. Now unlike the other top-end soft ground models from Nike, these do not come with extra studs, nor do they come with a string bag. So other than the stud wrench, all you're going to find inside the box, as you guys can see, are the shoes themselves. So we'll get these guys out of the box really quickly, and we'll take a closer look at the extremely underrated and often overlooked Nike Premier in the newly released soft ground stud variation. Now up until now, the Nike Premier has only been available in firm ground. Now it's available at this point in time exclusively in Europe with a soft ground stud variation. This is essentially Nike's answer to the Adidas Copa Mundial, offering very simple styling and a clean, classic, very soft and high quality kangaroo leather upper. If you guys are interested in a pair of these for yourself, check out the review page on my website. There'll be a link to that down below in the description, and on that page you'll find buy it now links to where you can actually pick these up if you're interested. And in today's video, we're going to be going over everything as far as the colorway, the tech specs, the overall performance, and of course the fit and feel is concerned. So with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's quickly go over the colorway. Now, just like the firm ground version of the Nike Premier, the soft ground version is also available in the exact same black and white colorway. In fact, it's the only colorway available in the Nike Premier, other than the exclusive limited edition country pack that they released, I want to say about a year ago now, but those don't really count. So as you can see, it's pretty much an all black leather upper, black laces, black tongue. You're going to find kind of an old school looking, more chunky version of the Nike swoosh in white on the lateral side, wraps all the way around to the back of the heel where you can see it says established in 1972, which is when Nike was founded as a company, I believe. And then of course it continues on to the medial side where you again find another Nike swoosh. You're going to find a little circular oval here in white, your Nike logo embossed right there on the tongue. The insole is orange with the heel lining being a black suede material. And then of course the sole plate is solid white with of course clear studs with metal tips. So very straightforward coloring. If you're looking for something that is old school, very simple, and looks good no matter what, this is one of those shoes that in my opinion is, like I said, really underrated. I know a lot of people like more flashy colorways, but as far as simplicity goes, this is to me just a really cool looking shoe. As far as performance is concerned, like I mentioned earlier, the Nike Premier was brought out simply to compete with Adidas's Copa Mundial, which is kind of their old school classic shoe that's been around for absolutely forever. What makes the Nike Premier unique, other than the fact that it has a Nike swoosh instead of Adidas stripes, if you want that classic soft kangaroo leather touch on the ball, both of those shoes are going to offer that. The Nike Premier is a slightly more slimmed down variation in comparison to the Adidas Copa Mundial, which is still a very old school shoe in terms of how it fits and feels. This offers that soft kangaroo leather touch with a little bit less bulk between your foot and the ball, and also a more modern, slimmer profile to the shoe overall, both in terms of how it looks as well as how it fits. So if you tried the Copas before and you didn't necessarily like how it felt, something like the Nike Premier is going to offer a touch that is really on par with the soft kangaroo leather you're going to get from the Copa, but like I said, with a much more modern aesthetic and feel on feet, which is why I think a lot of people might prefer the Premier over the Copa Mundial, especially if you've never worn a kangaroo leather soccer shoe before. If you guys want to see a direct comparison between the Copa and the Nike Premier in video form, I'll leave an annotation to that on screen. And also, if you want to see the Nike Premiers in action, I'll leave an annotation on screen to my playtest video as well, so you can go ahead and check that out. Now, as far as the upper is concerned, it's very straightforward. There's minimal technology in this shoe. The upper is pretty much 100% kangaroo leather. It's very soft. Like I said, in comparison to the Copa, it certainly is thinner, so you get a nice, clean, slightly cushioned touch on the ball, which is exactly what you'd be looking for from this type of a shoe. And even in comparison to something like the Nike Tiempo Legend, also made from kangaroo leather, this is a little slimmer, so there's less bulk between your foot and the ball, and it's just a thinner, tighter fitting shoe overall in comparison to something like the Legend even. The central lacing system, as you guys can see, is also pretty straightforward. You get a nice lockdown feel when you pull the laces tight. The tongue is a thinner synthetic material, but where you have this white oval in the middle of the tongue, there actually is a memory foam insert, so it's really comfortable, it cuts down on lace bite, and overall the touch across the entire foot, because it is majority kangaroo leather, is very, very consistent, very clean, no ACC, no rubber striking elements, no extra grip on the ball, just the classic clean feel of soft kangaroo leather. And that's really all you need, at least for a lot of people who are looking for that simple feel. You do have an internal plastic heel counter at the rear portion of the shoe. The heel lining, as I mentioned earlier, is a nice soft suede material, so it locks your foot in place really nicely and also just feels very comfortable against the back of your heel. Decent amount of padding backing that suede as well. The insole is fully removable. I'll give you guys a quick look at it right here. It features more of a cloth-like liner as opposed to mesh, so it does have some slight texturing to it. Reminds me a little bit of what you're going to find from the Mizuno Morelia Neo or something like that, where this cloth-like material is actually going to grip your sock a little bit better, preventing your foot from sliding around on the inside of the shoe. And it's just made from one single layer of this black foam material. Decent thickness, so again, step-in comfort certainly is not an issue with the Nike Premier. Comfort is not an issue really at all with this shoe. And then moving on to the sole plate. The sole plate design is pretty much the same as what you're going to find on the firm ground version, with the major difference being that it's a little bit more beefed up where all the studs are positioned, just to avoid any kind of stud pressure. So there's some extra kind of reinforcement all the way around the edges, just again, so the sole plate's not collapsing. It is a thinner sole plate in the first place, but you're definitely going to notice more thickness to the soft ground version versus the firm ground version of the Nike Premier. Solid white color, so very simple looking. And unlike all of the other top end models from Nike, this soft ground stud variation is a traditional 6-stud layout as opposed to a mixed soft grounds pro variation where you have a combination of metal screw-in studs and molded plastic studs. You have one molded plastic stud in the middle of the forefoot, again, more as a reinforcement thing as opposed to traction thing, and you have 4 11mm studs in the forefoot and 2 13mm studs in the heel. Again, it's the only set they include, and they are plastic with the metal tips as opposed to full metal like you might find on the top end kind of flagship models from Nike that feature the soft ground variation. And then you have these little kind of teeth right at the edge of the sole plate, just as that last resort piece of grip. But if you are playing on soft ground, those are unlikely to do really anything for you, but it is a nice little touch, I will admit that. So that's pretty much it as far as the Nike Premier is concerned. Again, very straightforward, extremely comfortable shoe, and if you're looking for a clean, soft, relatively thin kangaroo leather touch on the ball, the Nike Premier is one of the best options currently out there on the market. One of the lesser known aspects of the Nike Premier is that despite how they may look and the overall design being very traditional, it's actually pretty light. So I'm going to weigh in the firm ground version to compare it with the soft ground version that I have right here, as you guys can see. Keep in mind that both of these shoes are in the same size, 9.5 US. We'll start off with the firm ground variation of the Nike Premier, and you can see that they weigh in at 8.7 ounces, which, like I mentioned, is pretty light for a shoe that's essentially all kangaroo leather and offers very traditional feel, comfort, and styling. So we'll take that off the scale and we'll throw on the soft ground version of the Nike Premier. Soft ground models do tend to weigh more than their firm ground counterparts, and as you can see, the soft ground version weighs in at 8.95 ounces, so a difference of 0.25 ounces, which in my opinion is an insignificant amount of weight. It's difficult to tell a difference with the shoes in hand, and especially when they're on feet. So again, if you're looking for a classic feel in a relatively lightweight package, the Nike Premier in either the firm ground or soft ground variation is a very, very good option. Alright, so here's a look at the soft ground Nike Premiers on feet. And this is quite simply one of the most comfortable shoes on the market. If you're looking for something that's going to feel very soft, very, very flexible on feet, and also be suitable for pretty much all foot types, the Nike Premier is the shoe for you. The kangaroo leather is thin, it's soft, it's flexible pretty much from right out of the box. No break-in time really required, although after a couple hours of wear time, you will find that the leather will stretch, form to the exact shape of your foot, and even become that much more comfortable. So again, they'll feel great from right out of the box, but they'll feel even better after a few hours of wear time. Like I mentioned, as far as width is concerned, it's going to fit just about everybody. In comparison to, let's say, the Nike Tiempo Legend 5, the fit out of the box is a little bit wider on the Nike Premier, and because it is kangaroo leather all over the entire upper, you're going to get a very consistent stretch across the entire foot. So even if they feel a little bit snug from right out of the box, don't worry, because like I said, that upper upper will stretch a pretty significant amount if need be. And as far as sizing is concerned, it does run half a size small, just like the Nike Tiempo line does. So instead of wearing my usual size 9 US, I went up to a 9.5, and the fit and the length is perfect. So if you are planning on ordering a pair of Nike Premiers, I would strongly recommend going up half a size or sticking with the same size that you wear in the Tiempo line for the best possible fit. Alright guys, that's it for my review of the Nike Premier in the soft ground stud variation. This is just a great shoe overall. If you were considering the Adidas Copa Mundial, if you were considering the Nike Tiempo Legend 5, or any leather upper soccer shoe for that matter, the Nike Premier is also a shoe that you should consider. The soft ground variation just came out, so you can pick it up for around $145 right now, which isn't expensive, but if you compare it to the prices that you can get the firm grounds at consistently, you can pick those up for around $100 or so, and at that price point, it's a really tough shoe to compete with as far as quality to price ratio is concerned. And again, if you like the simple styling, you're going to love the simple feel that it has to offer, and it really is one of my personal favorite shoes to wear. Very, very comfortable, soft touch on the ball, no gimmicks needed, but great performance. So again, if you guys are interested in a pair of these for yourself, check out the full written review on my website. There'll be a link to that down below in the description. Go ahead and check that out. On that same review page, you'll also find buy it now links if you guys are interested in picking up these for yourself. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave a comment down below, and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. That would be greatly appreciated. All of my social media information is down below in the description. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.